Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Gemini Lilith. So I know it's been a really long time, um, but I am here with a collective message for you folks. All right, so we're gonna see what message you need to hear right now. So I did already shuffle some oracle cards. We're going to go over those, and then I'm going to shuffle some tarot. All right, I hope you guys have been doing well. It's been like 5 months, and I high-key miss doing this. So let's get right into it. Let's see. Okay. So for our oracle cards, we have Key into Wisdom, which is the little owl, Get Creative, which is the screech owl, and Digest Your Past, which is the monarch butterfly. Something is taking off, okay? Because we have two owls and a monarch butterfly, which I believe the monarch butterflies are the ones that migrate, according to the solstices. Now, things have been brewing for you for a while. Things have been brewing for a while. And there's something that you love, that you've been sitting on or putting on the back burner. What I get here is a hamster wheel. So I'm talking to somebody who has literally been in survival mode. That might have recently ended for you, or you're getting very, very strong nudges to slow things down for yourself. With Key into Wisdom and Digest Your Past, there's a lot that you're learning about yourself right now, and these are things that are happening in solitude. There's a lot you're learning about yourself. There's a lot that you're seeing in past situations that have happened to you. And in the same breath, you're synthesizing who you've become and how you've become that way. You're synthesizing it. So there's a part of you that is still very uncomfortable with this newfound you, that's very uncomfortable looking at these things that have changed you and molded you into who you are today. But what you're probably not recognizing is that all of this that's been brewing inside of you is actually a concoction to help you with this hobby, this creative thing that you love, basically to bring it out. All right. There are things that you've experienced that you can't put into words, and you're probably going through a phase in your life that you can't explain to everybody. There are things going on in your mind and your heart that you feel people around you won't really understand. Not in a bad way. But this was a journey for you to go through alone, to help fuel this fire for you to do this creative project, or this thing that you love to do, whether it is, I don't know, detailing cars, making jewelry, opening up a specific kind of store, you know, creating content, something that you've always wanted to do that is now absolutely at the forefront. Now, for these other two oracle cards I have here, it says time to ground and share your thoughts. Exactly. Time to ground. Okay. So the reason you had to go through this alone, process your past, your present, and even narrow down what it is that you want for your future, what it is that you want out of your life, the kinds of people that you want around yourself, your boundaries, you know, things that you won't tolerate anymore, things that you do have patience for now, all these things that you've come to up to this point, are there so that you can understand and root yourself and actually manifest the things that you want to. Now, with digest your past, I'm getting this was an ugly, messy process. You have cried in private a lot. Very hard cries. You've questioned a lot about why you were treated certain ways or why certain things happened to you. But what I'm getting is all of that was necessary so you can understand and step into who you really are. You're not people pleasing anymore. You're not living your life according to other people's rules anymore. You're not seeking anyone's approval because you understand that your reality is unique to you. As much as you want other people to understand, it's not really for other people to understand. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. And it's not personal. That's something that you've had to come to terms with. That a lot of the things that you have experienced, as hurtful as they are, it's not really personal. Because when people throw venom your way, when people are jealous of you, it's really a reflection of their internal world, and you're just somebody who happened to be in their vicinity, in their environment at that time that they felt that they could target. And now that you're no longer a target, people might try to victimize you and put you as a target right now, but I'm speaking to somebody who knows exactly how to handle situations like that now. Knows exactly how to discern who to give to, who not to give to, who to allow access, who not to allow access, and how much access. Because just because someone has access to you now doesn't mean that they can just mosey on in, open the door, or act like a revolving door. You limit your access now. You had to go through this messy ass metamorphosis for you to really open your eyes to what it is that you want out of your life instead of what you were told and what you were programmed to. You're undoing a lot. Now, with share your thoughts, I'm seeing here that your experiences are meant to be shared. Your view on the world is meant to be shared. Your gifts are meant to be shared. not depleted, not for everyone to run amok and just take from you, but for you to share at your discretion. You're somebody who's been getting a lot of downloads. Some of them you ignore, some of them are impossible to ignore. What you need to know is that whether the download is small or big, whether it's a little flicker or if it's a burning thought, they're all important, so take heed. You need a rest as well. Doesn't matter what okay, let me not say it doesn't matter what your employer says. No. Because we all need money. We all need a way to survive, right? We don't want to be irrational now. But don't expect your boss to understand why you need rest. So you try to find ways to get the rest that you need. There is no control. May I be well. Let me read May I be well. We all want to be safe, healthy, and happy. So even if it feels a bit self-indulgent, reminding ourselves of this throughout the day is a lovely way to stay in touch with this basic desire. An easy way to do this is to repeat the phrase, may I be well and may I be happy, to yourself. These words will cultivate a sense of self-care and can bring a feeling of warmth and kindness to even the coldest times. Try incorporating the phrases into your daily routine by repeating them to yourself each morning when you wake up and each evening before you go to sleep. You see, you need to tend to yourself now. And whether people understand that in your life or the people around you, whether they understand that or not, who cares? Really and truly, who cares? Because at the end of the day, when you're left alone with your thoughts or when you're in your bed, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people are not going to be there to comfort you. So who cares what they think? They're not going to be there to pay your bills. They're not going to be there to reassure you. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying? So who cares what these people think if they don't understand the things that you're going through right now? You don't need to pretend for anybody, right? And you don't need to carry so much weight. Let me read There Is No Control. Much of the conflict we face in our day-to-day lives is related to our desire to always be in control. What would it be like to relax or need to be in charge of what happens, to relax our need to be in charge of what happens to us and other people? The world continues doing what it does, whether we get involved or not. Exactly. Consider your own body. So much just happens without you doing anything at all. Your heart pumps, your digestive system digests, and your mind remembers to come back to the present when it becomes distracted. There you go. You need rest. I love that these cards are confirming what I'm saying. You need rest. And whatever opinions anybody else has to say about where your journey is right now, if people don't understand your level of exhaustion and don't see why you need the rest that you need, who cares? Because when you burn out, they're not going to be there, to cook you dinner, to put your mind at ease. So who cares? All right, so let's get into the tarot. All right. So we're moving on to the tarot. I'm shuffling your cards for you guys real quick. Let's see, what does the collective need to know? What are some important messages for the collective right now? Ooh. Okay. I'm hearing rest is part of progress. I'm speaking to somebody who's been working really hard. I'm talking about grinding. And the best way to get the results that you need is to rest now. Or when your body tells you to. Everyone's in a different timeline, so you might have experienced this already. But your body's telling you to rest and relax because you've been putting in the work. You've been digging your heels in. And now it's time to rejuvenate without guilt. Shameless rejuvenation. Because you need rest to grow. If you guys have kids, or if you've ever been around kids, you realize that kids grow because they sleep so damn much. That's when they grow, when their body is resting. Same applies to you. Okay. So you might have, actually it might be spirit, but you might have recently gone through like a cleanse in terms of people around you. You might have cut some people off, or you might just keeping it cordial with some people. I'm seeing a sort of distance from you, from a lot of the people that are around you. With the Judgment in reverse, I am seeing that people are wondering what's going on with you. People can't put two and two together. People don't understand. Why are you so tired? Why are you so withdrawn? What is going on? Now with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, I'm seeing here the hamster wheel. Where you're working, but it's paycheck to paycheck. You're working, just to get home to face even more responsibilities. There's something in the past that you thought was a golden opportunity. You thought it was just the right place for you, whether it's a job. This might even be a relationship. Something that at first was going really well and you were connecting with it. And as time progressed, you started seeing that it's not the environment for you, or it's not the person for you. And I see it's because, I want to say you were treated unfairly, but if you were to ask others, they wouldn't say that. It's funny. I think there's something about your experience that's beneath the surface that people can't see. There's something unseen going on. And the cards are saying you don't have to explain shit. You don't have to explain anything to anybody. But whatever this is that you thought was your golden ticket, it was put in your path by the divine. There was something that you had to see. Some lesson you had to learn about yourself. Or maybe relearn about yourself. You had to be put in this position to reflect who you really are internally. And it might have been uncomfortable because you felt like you didn't get your just dues. Maybe you weren't treated in the way that even made sense to you. Let's say this is a work environment and your coworkers kind of act like you're not there. They don't engage with you. That might be something that left you confused, because it's like, well, why? If I didn't do anything to anybody, if I am somebody who's new here, or if I'm somebody who does my job and I go home, why does that call for people to just straight up ignore me and act like I don't exist? Yeah, you might have felt out of place wherever this is. If this was a relationship and let's say they introduce you to their family, you might have felt out of place. There was something odd. Or even to like their friend group. There was a big indicator that was felt that showed you that this wasn't the place for you. Clarify the Nine of Pentacles, please. One more time. One more card to clarify the Nine of Pentacles, please. So people put you on a pedestal. And I do think people really liked you. But there was something unsettling about your independence. You have a very independent energy. People can sense that you're not really moved by external validation like that. Not that you don't desire it, but you're okay being alone, and that made people a little unsettled. With you being as comfortable as you are in your own energy, that actually made people, that actually intimidated people. Because I think you were around people that couldn't relate to that. And there was something about that made them uneasy. Not that you did anything to them, not that you're a bad person, not that they don't like you. There's something that you reflect to people that makes them uneasy, because it's something that they're not comfortable with within themselves. When people look at you and when people experience you, they want to know that you're somebody who will move with the group, who will get acclimated to the environment, someone who will try to fit in where you are. And if you don't do that, and when you don't do that, it creates unease. Why? Let me see. Why does this form of independence make people uneasy? Why does this make people uneasy about the collective? Ancestors and spirit guides, why does this make people feel uneasy? It highlights what they're too afraid to do. It highlights what people are too afraid to do. People, okay, so you were around people who were actually afraid to be themselves. And you unsettled that part of them where it's just like, no, 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 no. Everybody fits in and everybody has their own role in this place. So you don't just get to be who you are, step outside of the lines. You don't get to just express yourself freely. Because I didn't. I conformed. So you have to conform. People don't like that. So it wasn't personal. Like I said in the beginning, it wasn't personal. It's just what you represented. This was not personal at all. It's what you represented. Yeah. Okay, so these are all swords. So you really impacted people in their mental space, psychologically. It was like you psychologically messed with people because when they look at you, it's almost like, whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't know anyone was allowed to do that. Since when is anybody allowed to do that? Since when is anybody allowed to be different, to step outside of the lines, to not need a group to be a part of, to dress in the way that they want to dress in? Since when did that happen? They can't do that. I had to smother myself. I had to show up the same way everybody else was showing up because that's what people do. That's what we do. So what makes them think that they can just all of a sudden just do whatever they want to do? That's the vibe I'm getting. Because with the 4 of Swords, the 3 of Swords reverse, and the 7 of Swords means that people are hiding. People feel safer in their inauthenticity. And with you being authentic, that threatens their honestly, I think it threatened their reality. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you shook people up in a way that you didn't even expect because you were just being yourself, and nobody even fathomed that they could just do that without being called weird or strange. How dare you step out of the lines and not be a weirdo? How dare you step out of the lines and still have all this poise and elegance and just be who you are and not give a fuck about what we think about you? Who does that? Right? That's the vibe I'm getting. All right, we got to end this reading here now. It's getting a little long. You're exposing a suppressed part of people. You're exposing an expressed part, a suppressed. Ooh, I said expressed. Interesting. You're exposing a suppressed part of people. When people go home or when people are alone, they think, wow, I wish I could do what the collective did. I don't have the balls to do what the collective did. I don't want to shine. I don't want the spotlight. I don't want anyone to see me. I don't want anyone to see me. I want to be seen, but I don't want anyone to see me, who I really am. You expose to people that they're hiding themselves. That they're caricatures of who they really are. Which is a beautiful thing, but when you walk into spaces where people are like this, you're met with a lot of resistance. All right? So I hope that that resonated for you guys. And if you like that message, just like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things, all the lovely ting in them. And I will catch you in the next one. Take care.